Hey everybody, this is Chris with Night of Living Card Games. I'm back again with some more Marvel Champions playthrough. This time, instead of continuing on the Mad Titan Shadow campaign, because I found myself beating a head against a wall called Loki, and I'm still trying to find a good Nebula protection deck to take through them, instead I'm going to run through the latest MCM Podcast Challenge. So this week is a little different. It is going to be take any hero and their hero deck and smash it up with the pre-constructed cards from a different hero. So every hero that comes out, they have their hero kit, they have a pre-constructed deck or pre-con deck with them. So let's take one hero, take the non-hero cards from another pre-con, smash them together, and see if they can. So I'm going to see what hero I'm going to take and what pre-con deck I'm going to take. I've got all the different hero cards that come with new hero decks. So first one that I'm going to pick is the hero. Second one I'm going to take is going to be the pre-con deck that I need to do. I've decided a little bit of randomness, a little bit of choice. I'm going against the Brotherhood of Badoon with the Iron Spider Sinister 6 modular set and on Standard 2. I decided to go for the Iron Spider Sinister 6 because I was recently invited onto the Critical Encounters podcast to talk about it. So I decided I need to play that again. Alright, so let's see here. These cards are going all over the place, trying not to look. Alright, I'm going to take... Alright, we're going to take from the bottom of the deck for the hero. Spider-Ham is the hero. And let's do a shuffle. Let's see what pre-con I'm going to take. And the pre-con is going to be Spider. Okay. That seems a little too easy. That is all Web Warrior stuff. We're going to do that again. Set those to a side. I want something a little crazier. All right. Hero. Phoenix. That sounded interesting. And then pre-con deck is War Machine. So War Machine was a leadership deck. So it is a Phoenix Avengers leadership deck. Okay. This could prove interesting. So I'm going to pause here and get everything set up and good to go. I'm going to be using my nice custom Con of Heroes board that I worked with by the same token to put together. Really nice and really nice to commemorate the time over at Con of Heroes. So let me get these decks put together and then we'll get this thing started. Alright, before I get things shuffled up here, I really quick wanted to go through what the deck's going to look like. Obviously, I've got my Phoenix Standard Hero Pack. So the War Machine deck included Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Falcon, Goliath, and Mockingbird as allies. For events, we have 3 copies of Go Down Swinging, 2 copies of Make the Call, 3 copies of Save the Day, 3 copies of Sneak Attack, and then War Machine's team-up card with Iron Man, which isn't going to be doing us a lot of good this game. For resources, I have 1 copy of Innovation, and then Energy, Genius, and Strength. And then for supports, I have 3 copies of Command Team, and 1 copy of Quinn Carrier. Nice thing for Command Team is I just got in literally 2 days ago my latest batch of Buy the Same tokens. So I got Command Team tokens in, so I'll be looking forward to getting at least one of these out on the table so I can use those new tokens. Alright, well, let me get this shuffled up, and then we can get ourselves going against Brotherhood of Badoon on Standard 2. Alright, everybody, we got everything set up here and shuffled. So just quickly to go through Drang and the Brotherhood of Badoon. Main scheme starts with 2 threat on it, 8 threat per player limit, and then it has a forced response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, which is placing threat on this scheme. Resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. We've got the Badoon ship environment in play. And it says charge up special, place 1 barrage counter here. Then, if there are 4 or more barrage counters here, deal 2 indirect damage to each player and remove all counters from it. And then Drang is a 1 scheme, 2 attack, 13 hit point villain with a force response after Drang schemes resolve the Badoon ship's charge up ability. So real quick, looking at Jean Grace, aka Phoenix. On her alter ego side, she has a hand size of 6, hit points 9, 3 recovery, and she has a setup. Put Phoenix Force upgrade into play, restrain side up, and place 4 power counters on it. And then response, after you make a basic recovery, place 1 power counter on the Phoenix Force. Hero side, 5 hand size, still the 9 hit points, 3 thwart, 1 attack, 2 defense, and a psionic bond. Hero response, remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force, generate a wild resource, limit once per phase. So she can use these counters to pay for things. And then the Phoenix Force on the restrain side, permanent, you get the restrain trait, force response. After the last power counter is removed from here, flip this card. And the Phoenix Force Unleash side is you get -2 thwart and +2 attack, so she becomes a 1-3-2 instead of a 3-1-2. And then force response, after a power counter is placed here, if there are 4 or more power counters here, flip this card. So we've got our 4 counters on it, and because we're playing the Brotherhood of Badoon, the ship command set has to be in there, so we start with the Milano, and it is, excuse me, exhaust Milano, generate a wild resource for any player. And then the main scheme does have a first player action, exhaust Milano to remove 3 threat from a scheme. Alright, so let's draw up to our opening hand size, see how this goes. Alright, telekinetic attack, go down swinging, Phoenix suit, command team, telekinetic attack, and go down swinging. Well, I've got no allies, so go down swinging don't matter. Command team I don't care about right now, and I certainly don't need 2 telekinetic attacks, I don't think. I don't think so. Let me think here. Would I have enough to pay for it? No, I wouldn't. So we're just going to pitch that and draw 4 new ones. So we're going to get Telepathic Trickery, Goliath, Cyclops, and Save the Day. Alright, now with the new 1.5 rules, they did clarify, and I think it's been, I don't know if it's been specifically said, but everyone seems to agree that with Phoenix, and this also applies to Spider-Ham, you can recover when you're at full hit points just to get an extra counter. So I could recover right now, even though I'm at full hit points, just to get a 5th counter on there. But I don't need to do that. So I'm going to flip myself over to Phoenix side. Alright. I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to spend Cyclops, Goliath, and one of my Phoenix Force counters to play Telekinetic Attack. It's a 3-cost attack event, deals 7 damage to an enemy. If you have the Unleashed trait, this attack deals 2 additional damage and gains overkill. Well, I am not Unleashed, so don't get that, but it does take him down to 6 hit points. We are also going to use Telepathic Trickery and Save the Day to play my suit. So, Phoenix Suit is a 2-cost upgrade. Phoenix gains the Aerial trait. While you have the Restrain trait, you gain Steady. And while you have the Unleash trait, you gain Retaliate 1. So I am steady right now. And I'm going to exhaust Milano since I don't need that card to just remove 3 threat off here. And I guess I will have Phoenix punch for 1. And that's about all I can do. Well, ready up. Draw up. 5. Save the day. Falcon. Telekinetic shield. Sneak attack. And command team. Okay. So, terrestrial invasion goes up by 2. And then we added threat, so we get to add 1 barrage counter to the Badoon ship. He is coming to attack me. I'm just going to take it. So 2, 3. Takes me down to 6. And now our encounter card is Grand Larceny. So Grand Larceny is the Iron Spider Sinister 6 scheme. Comes in with 4 threat on it. And it does have the crisis icon, so I can't remove anything off the main scheme until I deal with this. And it says, threat cannot be removed from the scheme while criminal minion is in play. Well, we don't have any criminal minions, so we're good there. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is we are going to spend command team to play sneak attack. Sneak attack is a 1-cost event. Action. Choose an ally in your hand that shares a trait with your identity and put that ally into play. If that ally is still in play at the end of the phase, discard it. Thankfully, at the moment, because of my suit, I have Ariel, so I'm going to bring in Falcon, who is a 4-cost ally with 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 3 hit points, the Ariel and Avengers trait, and response. After Falcon enters play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So we've got Total Annihilation, treachery, Rogue Vessel, which is an environment, and then Blockade, which is a side scheme, so just 1. And I have to put them back in order, so I know his boost card is going to be this, which, if he's attacking, gains overkill. And my encounter card is going to be Rogue Vessel, which surges into a side scheme. So I also know what's coming up here. All right, but I did get to remove 1. I'm going to remove it from that one. Phoenix is going to thwart 3 off of this. Clear that out. I am going to exhaust Falcon and deal 2 damage. And then I'm going to use a Phoenix counter to play Save the Day. Save the Day is a 1-cost event, hero action. Discard an ally you control, remove threat from a scheme equal to that ally's printed cost. Just realized I'm going to say I didn't thwart 3 off of Grand Larceny because it doesn't make any sense to do that because Falcon's just going to go away. No point in taking 4 off that. So Falcon removes it. Don't have enough to put out my telekinetic shield. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Milano to take 2 off of that. I'm going to flip and heal myself back up to full. And because I did a recovery, I get a Phoenix Force back. Right, and that's my turn. I'm going to keep telekinetic shield up and draw 5 more. So we get Strength, White Hot Room, Mockingbird, Quinn Carrier, and Captain Marvel. All right. Villain phase. So 2 comes on. And then we put. I think I forgot to. I forget to put one on the last one? Or was this... No, I don't think I did. So, alright, so this goes up to 2. He schemes for 1, 2, and it's not an attack, so that doesn't happen. But he does scheme, so he does get a 3rd counter on there. And we know the encounter card is going to be first Rogue Vessel, which is an environment. Forced to interrupt when the villain phase ends, deal 1 damage to each player. And first player action, exhaust the Milano and spend 2 resources of any type to discard this card. Right, and we know this surges into a side scheme, Blockade. It is a 2 threat with hinder 2 per player with the crisis icon, and first player action, exhaust the Milano, remove 3 threat from this scheme. So we got a lot of things that want to deal with exhausting the Milano. Okay, and because again, the enemy phase, I do have to take a damage from Rogue Vessel. Alright, let's take a look here and see what I want to do. Queen Carrier is pointless to me because you can only play it if you have the Avengers trait, and I am not an Avenger. Telekinetic Shield would be nice. Prevent some of that damage that's coming through. I also wouldn't mind... I think I might deal with the Rogue Vessel for a turn or 2. So I think what I am going to do then is we're going to flip ourselves up. We are going to spend Strength and White Hot Room for Mockingbird. Mockingbird is the classic 3 cost, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit point. Ally with a response after she enters play. Stun an enemy. Oh, that's right. He needs 2. Hang on. That might change my... Forgot that standard 2 gives him... Standard 2 gives him steady, so I would need 2. Pardon my indecision here. I'm trying to see if I have enough money to get... I have enough money to get Captain Marvel out. But that doesn't actually do me that much good. Alright, I think I'm just going to go with my original plan. Is I'm going to spend 3 to get Mockingbird out. He's not fully stunned, he's only half stunned. And then I'm going to spend 2 to get my Telekinetic Shield out. So Telekinetic Shields is a 2 cost upgrade attached to a friendly character. You can attach to any character. And Forced Interrupt. When attached character would take damage from an enemy attack, place that damage here instead. Then, if there's at least 5 damage here, discard the shield. So... I want to wait for a big damage to come through. Got the nice little shield token here. I'm attaching it to myself, I think. Alright, so I'm going to exhaust the Milano to remove 3 threat from this scheme. And then Mockingbird is going to remove the last 1. And then Phoenix will thwart 3 off of that one. All right, that is everything. So we're going to ready ourselves up and draw up. And apparently I've got some cards here that are... wrong way up. Let me get that fixed and reshuffle this thing. Not sure how that happened, but Easy enough to fix. Alright, so 5 cards. Energy. Genius. 2 Against the World. Psychic Blast. And Phoenix Firebird. That is a lot of resources and not a lot to do with it. Alright, so we're getting 2 threat on the main. Badoon ship goes up to 4. So we trigger this. It takes 2 indirect damage. So we're going to put 1 on Mockingbird, and I'm going to take 1. Because it's not an attack, it doesn't trigger the telekinetic shield. Okay, Drang is coming to attack. Mockingbird's going to jump in front of it, so he is 2, 3, 4. Mockingbird is knocked out. And now we get our encounter card, which is Total Annihilation. As Surge, when revealed, hero, the villain attacks you, the attack gains overkill. Alright, let's resolve this first. So 2, star, put this minion in play next to you. So I got Spot. Okay, so I take 2 damage, so 2 of this shield comes out. And this also surges into Drang Spear. Attached to Drang, Drang gains Stalwart. He cannot be stunned or confused, and hero action spend a mental and 2 physical resources to discard this card. Got a lot of things going on here. Okay, so because he is now Stalwart, that 1 stun that I had on him goes away. Right, and Spot, who came out, is a 1 scheme, 1 attack, 4 hit point criminal minion. And it says, when defeated, if Spot was defeated without excess damage, shuffle him into the encounter deck. All right. Well, since I got a lot of resources in my hand and not a lot to do with it, I am going to exhaust the Milano and spend 2 resources of any kind to get rid of the Rogue Vessel. I'm going to exhaust Phoenix to do 1 point of damage to Spot. I'm going to spend my Genius to do a Psychic Blast. Psychic Blast is a 2-cost psionic event. Hero action, deal 4 damage to the villain. If you have the Unleash trait, deal 4 damage to each minion engaged with you. Unfortunately, I'm not Unleashed, so I do 4 damage to Drang, which does knock him on to stage 2. So stage 2 Drang is a 2 scheme, 3 attack villain with 14 hit points, and when revealed, if Drang Spear is in play, give Drang 1 face down boost card. Otherwise, go fetch it. And same force response on the charge up ability. Okay, I'm then going to spend 1 to play Phoenix Firebird, which is a 1-cost event. Hero action, choose. Remove 1 power counter from Phoenix Force to Ready Phoenix, or place 2 power counters on Phoenix Force. I'm going to remove 1 to ready myself, and I think I'm just actually going to clear the threat off of there. All right, let's ready ourselves up. Drop. Phoenix Firebird again. Sneak attack. Rise from the ashes. Save the day. And go down swinging. A lot of fun things to do with allies. Unfortunately, I have none. All right, so villain phase. We put 2 threat on the main, and then we put 1 barrage counter on the ship. Drang is coming to attack. I'm just going to take it. So he's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, and he gets another boost card. 7, 8. 8. So I am going to place it on the telekinetic shield. If there's at least 5 damage here, where there is, discard that. That's the nice thing about the telekinetic shield, is it can take a big attack like that and it doesn't bleed through. And then Spot does hit us for 1. All right, and our encounter card is Dark Dealings. When revealed, the villain schemes with +1 scheme. Okay, so that is going to be 2 + 1, 3, 4. And force response, after he schemes, put another barrage token on the ship. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Go Down Swinging, Save the Day, and Sneak Attack to pay for Rise from the Ashes. So Rise from the Ashes is a 3-cost upgrade, and it says Interrupt. When you would be defeated, remove this card from the game. Ready your identity and restore it to its printed hit points value instead, and then remove each power counter from Phoenix Force. Right, I am going to then thwart for 3, knocking that down to 3. And then I'm going to spend a Phoenix power counter to play Phoenix Firebird. And I have the choice. I can either remove 1 power counter to Ready Phoenix or place 2 counters on it. I am going to remove 1 to Ready Phoenix. And because there are no power counters here, I am now unleashed. So again, I get +2 attack, -2 thwart. So I am now punching for 3, and I'm just going to, I don't care about Spot. Much like the rest of the Marvel Universe, they just don't really care about Spot. So we're going to do 3 to Drang, and then we're going to exhaust the Milano to do 3 there. And that'll be it. Oops. Forgot to put that damage back on Spot since I didn't actually kill him. I was thinking about flipping down, but because I got Rise from the Ashes, I can just stay up and take it. Innovation, Mental Paralysis, Make the Call, Psychic Blast, and Telepathic Trickery. Alright, so we're getting 2 on the main, which gives him a 3rd barrage counter. He is coming to attack. I'm just going to take it. So 3, 4, star, resolve the ability on the charge up. Okay. So that does that. So it really doesn't matter what order they go in. So if I do charge up first, that's 2 indirect, which since I have no allies out, that's only me. Then we clear these out. And then he was hitting for 3, 4, which takes me to 0, which triggers Rise from the Ashes, Ready your identity, and restore it to its printed hit point value, and remove it from the game. Oh, and remove all the power counters, but I don't have any. So back up to 9. And then Spot hits me for 1. Right. And now we get an encounter card, which is Iron Spider. Iron Spider is a 2 scheme, 2 attack, 6 hit point minion with Guard, Patrol, Retaliate 1, and Toughness, and the attacks gain Overkill. That is a whole mess of stuff. And that really does... Oh, that's not an attack. Perfect. All right, I am going to spend Make the Call and Innovation to play Psychic Blast. So Psychic Blast, again, 2-cost event. Hero action, deal 4 damage to the villain. If you have the Unleash trait, then deal 4 damage to each minion engaged with you. Actually, I'm just trying to think. I suppose it's better if I attack first to take off the toughness. And that does retaliate 1. Now, Psychic Blast is not an attack event, so it gets around the guard. So we do 4, so that takes us down to 7, and then we deal 4 damage to each minion engaged with you. First to spot, and so there is some excess damage, so that goes away. And then 4 threat, or 4 damage onto Iron Spider. Again, it's not an attack, so I don't have to do retaliate. I got 2 other cards in my hand. Oh yeah, I need to remember. I also have retaliate now with the Phoenix suit, now that I am unleashed. I've got telepathic trickery, which would allow me to remove threat from terrestrial evasion, but patrol says I can't. And then I have mental paralysis, which is attached to a non-elite minion. Iron Spider is elite. That does me nothing, but what I can do is I can exhaust this to remove 3 threat, because patrol stops thwart events or basic thwart. It doesn't stop removing threat like a crisis icon would. Now the question is, do I want to flip down? I think I do, because that's going to be coming in with a lot of damage at me. All right, so I'm going to flip down. Ready myself up. Command team, sneak attack, make the call, Black Panther, mind control. I run out of cards, so I'm going to get a extra encounter card. And a command team. All right. Let's see what we can do about this. We got 2 threat going on the main, which gives us charge up counter. Drang is going to scheme for 2 star, deal 1 indirect damage to each player, exhaust each character damage this way. Ow, that's rude. So I am exhausted now. And so he schemes for 2, but that does give him another counter. And then Iron Spider schemes for another 2. So we are at 6 of 8. And now we're getting our 2 encounter cards. Burning Hunger, when revealed, if you have the Unleash trait, which I do, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for Dark Phoenix and reveal her, then remove Burning Hunger from the game. Alright, well, Dark Phoenix is coming in. So Dark Phoenix is a 2 scheme, 2 attack, 12 hit point, cosmic entity, and elite traded minion with steady, toughness, and villainous. And a forced response when Dark Phoenix schemes, place that threat on the Consume the World side scheme if able, and then when revealed, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for Consume the World and reveal it. Consume the World side scheme is a permanent side scheme that comes in with 6 threat. While there is no threat, this scheme loses the Amplify icon, and it does have the Amplify icon there. Force response. After a threat is placed here, if there is at least 12 threat here, the players lose the game. Alright, well. Stuff just hit the fan. Alright, let's see what this one is. Oh, and another side scheme, spatial positioning. Comes in with 3 threat per player, and also has the Amplify icon, and first player action, exhaust a Milano, remove 3 threat from this scheme. My turn. Can I do? I do not have enough to deal 7 damage this turn. Alright, I was thinking about sneaking attack, using a sneak attack to sneak Black Panther in, but I can't afford to lose a blocker, so I've got to keep him out. Which means I'm not going to have enough to pay for anything else. Alright, so I'm going to have to flip up. I am going to spend 4 to get Black Panther out. Black Panther is a 4-cost ally with 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 4 hit points. And then response after he enters play. Choose a leadership blue event from your discard pile and attach it to him face down. And it also says you may play the event attached to Black Panther as if it were in your hand. I don't know if the cards that I pay for them are considered in the discard pile when I do that. And the only event I have is sneak attack, so it wouldn't do me any good. So I'm not going to even bother. So Black Panther is just going to come finish Iron Spider out. And I guess... So I either have to let the Terrestrial Invasion pop, or I'm going to have 2 Amplify icons out. And Black Panther can only soak one of those for me. And, suppose I should put all the tokens out on Dark Phoenix as well. And since she's villainous, she's going to be hitting for a lot as well. I think I'm just going to have to let Terrestrial Evasion pop and get rid of this one. All right, I'm going to make the call in my hand and ready myself up. Really need some damage. Goliath, Innovation, White Hot Room, and Telepathic Trickery. None of that is what I wanted. Although Goliath could be nice, but... Alright, so 2 threat is going on the main, which is going to cause this to advance. And when revealed, resolve the charge up ability on the Badoon ship. Alright, and then we put threat there, so we have to do this anyway. So we take 2 indirect damage. So I'm going to take 1, and Black Panther is going to take 1. Oh, and this comes out with 4 threat per player, and has a threshold of 8. And it goes up 2 per player. And same thing, after threat is placed on it, during the villain phase, do the charge up ability, and you can exhaust Milano to remove 3. Alright, so he is coming to attack me. I'm just debating on which one I have to have Black Panther jump in front of this one for me, because he's coming in with too much. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Black Panther is defeated. Dark Phoenix comes to attack. I'm going to have to defend. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I defend for 2. So I take 3. Oh, and Tough gets pinged off from my Retaliate. And now encounter card is Overwhelming Force. Discard the highest cost upgrade or support you control. So my suit goes away. All right. So I've got Goliath in my hand, but Goliath gets +4 attack until the end of the phase, but that doesn't do me any real good since he goes away at the end of the phase. I think I'm going to have to flip down this turn. All right, so first things first, we're going to exhaust the Milano to clear 3 threat off of that. We're going to spend Make the Call and Innovation to play Telepathic Trickery, remove 4 threat from a scheme if you have the Unleash trait Stun and Confuse an enemy. So I'm going to remove 4 threat from this, taking it down to 2. And I can't even do 1 Stun and Confuse on Drang because he's Stalwart right now, so I'll do 1 of each on Dark Phoenix. And then I'm going to have to flip down. I'm going to get rid of White Hot Room. I'm going to keep Goliath because if I survive, Goliath and Phoenix's attack would be enough to defeat Drang. So let's see here what we get. So Goliath, 2 against the world, telekinetic attack, mental paralysis, go down swinging, and Phoenix Firebird. All right, let's see if we survive this. Villain pays. Goes up to 3. We get 1 barrage counter. He schemes for 2. 3. Gets another counter. Dark Phoenix schemes for 2. 3, 4. So we're at 6 of 12 there. Oh, he gets another one because of the Amplify icon, and this one goes up another one because of the Amplify icon too. So we're at 7 of 8 and 7 of 12. And our encounter card is Mob Mentality. When revealed, discard the top 7 cards of the encounter deck. Put the first minion discarded this way into play engaged with you. Well, joke's on you. There's not 7 cards, so it's a Boudoon Engineer. All right, it doesn't really matter what the rest of them are because we just put the first one in. That does do that, so we get an acceleration icon. Boudoon Engineer, forced response. After he engages you or activates against you, resolve the charge up ability. So we are literally 1 away from losing by damage and by threat, and a mere 5 away from actually Dark Phoenix just devouring the entire world. On the bright side, none of these have guard. So we're just going to flip up. Not even going to bother to heal. 1, 2, 3 for telekinetic attack. It is a 3-cost event. Psionic attack deals 7 damage to an enemy if you have the Unleash trait. The attack deals 2 additional damage and gains overkill. So there you have it. Phoenix was able to defeat Drang. I guess Dark Phoenix goes away to devour a star or something while nobody's looking. With Drang, that was going pretty well up until we had to pull out Dark Phoenix. Then it got a little dicey. But we were able to pull it out in the end. So hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'll put a link to the MCM Podcast Challenge and the Discord server in the notes. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. If you did, hit the like button, leave a comment. You want to see more of this, subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to keep plugging away at Nebula protection against Loki and hopefully find a deck that's going to work to get through him. Otherwise, if I get a little too frustrated, I might just pull out some of the challenge cards that we received at Con of Heroes and run through one or two of those. So, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Everybody, have a great day.